Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Josh Dragon here, and today we're going to be finishing up with the Great Cave Offensive by collecting the rest of the treasure in Level 4. It's been a really cool adventure. I mean, I've gone like all over the place here. We've gone through the jungle, we've been through ruins, we've been through the clouds now, we've been through a whole bunch of different types of places. It's a really fun game, and it's actually very short if you don't do a lot of treasure collecting, but in this case we pretty much got everything. Actually, we will have all the pieces by the end of the video, so anyone who's curious about where to find these pieces of treasure, you know, this game is like almost 20 years old, but if you're curious about where they are, you can just watch this video and you can find them all in here. So we saved one last time. Don't really need to, but why not? And then we're going to be going through, actually I took the wrong path here. I should have gone to the door on the right hand side, because this door will lead you to the boss of the game, and we're not really ready to fight him yet because we don't have all of our treasure yet, so we're going to be going through to collect the pieces a little bit in the wrong order. Did a little bit of exploring to make sure I didn't miss anything down here, but there was just some health, that's all. Now this part can be a little bit difficult, because these springs will push you all the way back to the top of the room, and I recommend just like kind of going down slowly and inflating so that you won't hit the springs. Sometimes you can see them like you could right there, and then in other cases they'll be hidden, so you have to guess a little bit in terms of where they'll be. And they did stuff an enemy right down there, so I unfortunately got hit by it, but this is one last important part. Just make sure you inflate when you go down here, because the spring will push you right back. So you can take out the enemy there, and we'll be rewarded by collecting the Triforce from The Legend of Zelda, which is the final treasure piece of the game, actually. But we missed a few of them, so we're going to be going back to collect those now. I remember renting this game as a kid from the video store, and there's actually not a whole lot of those around anymore, and I really enjoyed playing it. One of the things that was nice about it was that when you're a kid and you're playing a video game, in a lot of cases you're not necessarily all that good at it. Like when you're really small, it takes a long time to get good at it. But anyway, you know, I wasn't like a fantastic, gamer, so this was one of the games I could actually beat when I was small. You know what I'm saying, small, I mean like probably about 5, 6 years old. But there weren't necessarily a lot of those. I can remember the first time I beat Mega Man X. That was a very hard game for me to beat, and I've actually beaten it since then without losing a life. It's kind of amazing how that stuff happens. You go from the point where you can barely even beat a video game to the point where it becomes like a joke. You know, you can set like these ridiculous standards for yourself, like not losing any health, or not losing any lives or whatever, but not using certain abilities in the game. But it's really funny how that happens. the enemies here are really prevalent and super aggressive for some reason. Those bears just, God, they annoy me so much because they're aggressive here. I don't know what it is. It's like they're this kind of dopey, innocent-looking animal, but they're like speed run right at you here. It's so annoying. They almost took my my health out. So I'm not the biggest fan of the bears. I think you already know that though if you've watched my LP of Spring Breeze, that I don't like the bear enemy in this game. I don't really know why, because they're one of the easier enemies to kill, but probably because of this level here. And I still got killed by the bear, okay. So we're gonna be trying that again, obviously. I just like to, that's actually a really cool way to do it. I threw that guy right in the water with my sumo move. I just like to reiterate that this particular level is, or this particular part of the level is really difficult. I think it's the enemy placement, and they're a little bit more aggressive than you would normally find. Like, you know, the bears will kind of kamikaze run right into the water, you know, and they're placed in these really difficult areas, so they push you right back down. And I don't think I mentioned this before, but those enemies will actually take off a lot of health, so this is not as easy as it looks. I don't know that it looks easy or not, but it's definitely not easy. These last couple of treasures here can be kind of annoying. I think that's just me taking out some of my frustration from before. And just be careful, of course, getting this treasure because of the spike ball. Probably going to have to take a little bit of damage there, unless you're really careful. Picked up the shell whistle. Unfortunately, he did get me twice, though, that spike ball. But... and this is also one of the more cool-looking backgrounds. Going back here to make sure there's no treasure. I can tell I've gotten everything. I don't think I remember where the last treasure was. Okay, now this one is not an obvious one, but the way that we're going to be getting this treasure is kind of similar to the one from level 2. We're going to be using the storm guy here, the girl or whatever. We're going to use that ability, the crash ability, to open up this sliding door. And I think that's the only way you can access it unless you have the yo-yo or something, because otherwise that little switch is protected. And you just have to use that. That flips the switch, and then we can go in there and collect the last treasure of the game. Normally, of course, that would not be the last one, but based on the way that we did it, it's the last one. We've got all 60 pieces now. Feels pretty good, too. Going through this area, I was debating which power-up I wanted to use against him, but because there's several good ones that all work. I mean, a lot of actually different abilities will work here, but there's a really cool ability that I have not shown off with the ice power, where basically Kirby can inhale the enemy and then he spits them back out as an ice cube. It's or an ice block. It's a really interesting move. It's kind of hard to pull off though, so I haven't done it in this walkthrough so far, but I'll have to try it for one of the later points. Maybe we'll do that in Milky Way Galaxy. Alright, so you can pick any of these abilities and they all work pretty well. I was debating between the bombs and the parcel, but I think the parcel is probably the best choice. It just makes the fight a little easier. But again, you know, any of these work really, really well. Then I changed my mind and decided, nah, we'll go with the parcel. Alright, here we go. Kind of an interesting looking enemy here. It's almost like a Hawaiian guy. Look to him or something, not sure. The earrings and the hair looking kind of like a pineapple or something like that. He's fairly easy with this weapon because he'll drop rocks on you, which of course are neutralized by the parcel. Don't ask me how an umbrella can deflect boulders, but I'm good with it. Anyway, and his other moves, the ones that you have to look out for really are when his hand goes off the screen. Sometimes he'll kind of speed it at you very quickly. The fight is actually similar in a lot of respects to the original Super Smash Bros., where you have a boss that's a hand at the end of the game. I think that was inspired actually from this particular boss fight, but just be kind of quick against him, and he didn't really even damage me very much, so it's not that hard of a fight. And we'll be riding in this minecart to the end of the game. Of course, this game actually can go really fast if you don't get any treasure at all. You can literally breeze right through this game. And it used to be when I was a little kid and I didn't know where most of the treasure was, I would just kind of blow right through the game. And Kirby Superstar can feel like a really fast game if you you know, don't collect items and things like that. It just goes by really quickly. It's kind of similar to Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island in that way. And as you can tell, we're back at the beginning. So we just have to hop on the star, take one last look at the treasure. And we're getting out of here. Now it's worth noting that the more treasure you collect in the game, the longer the ending will be, because it shows all of your treasure pieces. So one of the rewards to having a lot of the treasure is that the ending goes on longer. Of course, if you have all of it, you'll get a special title screen at the very end, which we'll be seeing here in a few minutes. Or probably less than that, actually. And it's kind of a cool thing to see that. So I had a really good time doing this game. Doing this walkthrough, and in the next part we'll be moving on to one of the last games of Kirby Superstar, which is the Milky Way Galaxy game. I'm looking forward to that one because that's a really fun one. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this walkthrough. I've been really enjoying it so far, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. This is Josh Dragon signing out.